Shaking, nutritionist and coach, and I run a multi-dimensional and eating lifestyle brand. And as a result of this brand, my clients get to experience not only mental and physical support, but also the practical tools that they need to keep their weight off, and the foundation of getting to a better place with health using nutrition, and of course that is delicious nutrition. So when we talk about refocusing and commitment to healthy eating practices, that is definitely a dual approach, and one of the things we want to look at first is the mental side of that as well as the physical side. One of the things that we do is we tend to neglect this whole approach to refocusing and not necessarily think about the mental and emotional side. So that would be the first area I would go into when we talk about that overall commitment with refocusing on how you can eat better. So I want to look at 3 steps or strategies, if you will, to approaching how we would commit as well as to refocus on our healthy eating practices. So the first thing I would look at is the mental component. Step number 1, you do not want to be hard on yourself. I know sometimes, life just throws a curveball at us. We're dealing with a world crisis. We're dealing with sometimes being busier than our normal schedule, and even a lack of motivation. Step number 1, you are not perfect. The whole goal to refocusing on eating healthier is first you want to look at just the proactive approach, as well as just becoming more progressive with the whole idea of eating and not looking at yourself as being perfected. So when we look at refocusing, just throw away the towel. You are not perfect. Celebrate progression and celebrate becoming more proactive. So step 2, I want to tie that into what I refer to as Mental Monday. I know when we think that we have fallen off the bandwagon, we need to get back on track, we always tie it into a Monday. Throw that out the window. Listen, if you are excited about just refocusing and recommitting yourself to eating better, start today. There's no better time to starting today. And a part of that is just looking at what you have done so far, just looking at where you've come from, and just use your excitement as inspiration and motivation to start today. So throw Mental Monday out of the window. So step 3. This is a major part of recommitting and refocusing. It's going back to what I call basis. And this is so important, why you need to have a healthy eating base, a guideline that you are accustomed to. Because the truth of the matter is, when we fall off that wagon, we lack motivation, we find ourselves eating just everything, things that we don't normally eat. And so if you have a base, of healthy nutrition, delicious meals, protein shakes, this is a good way to get back on track. Get back on track by going back to basis. You want to start looking at your healthier choices with meals and planning. Planning is always the key to getting back on track. When we look at why we have gotten off track in the first place, they can be simple things like just not sticking to what you would normally do, planning, also sticking to things like not preparing yourself completely. When you look at your basic plan of nutrition, you always need to have that as a foundation, because it's easier to get back on track with foundation as the key to healthy eating. So just to recap, when we talk about refocusing and commitment to healthy eating practices, 1, first, don't be too hard on yourself. Remember, this is not about perfection. This is about progress and becoming proactive. 2, throw away the attitude of starting on Monday. That's a mental thing. You can start today. And thirdly, go back to what you know as foundation. That is actually the key to refocusing and commitment. See, it's important that you have some type of foundation when it comes to healthy eating practices so that you can go back to. When you got off your track in the first place, one of the things you can do, in just closing, just to remember to journal, write things down so you can use it as a tool to go back to help you to recommit to what you know that works best for you, and that is healthy eating practices.